What's up, everyone? We're back, Fireside Rangers. Here doing a pregame live stream ahead of Game 4 of the first round of the 2023 playoffs. I am doing it solo today. Anthony is over recording a new episode for the Fireside Giants podcast right now. So if you're a big Giants fan, football fan, be sure to check that out whenever we're wrapping up over here. But yeah, so while we wait for people to come on in, I guess I'll just give my initial thoughts on Game 3 that happened 2 days ago. Obviously, a disappointing loss for the Rangers there, but it did go to overtime. It wasn't like we got blown out the way that we've been blowing out the Devils the first two games. So honestly, can't really complain too much about Game 3. Didn't really go our way, but I'm looking ahead to Game 4 right now. Let's go Rangers. Welcome to the chat, Connor. You're the first one in here. If you have any questions or want any thoughts on anything, feel free to comment and just let me know. But, Game 4 in 30 minutes, looking forward to it. I personally think the Rangers are going to bounce back tonight. We were pretty dominant in the first two road games, pretty even matchup in Game 3. So I have faith in the boys for this home game. All right, Christopher says, what did you think of the lack of discipline on the Rangers? Do you think that there's going to be a lot of craziness in tonight's game? Craziness, yeah, I think so. The Rangers and the Devils, two of the biggest rivals in the NHL right now, definitely has been the most physical series that I've seen so far, watching all of them. So this deep into it, 4 games, I think things are going to increasingly get more hectic and more crazy the more hockey that we watch. And, the lack of discipline, it's been a little bit of a problem. The penalty kill has been pretty good overall at this series. But we do need to stop taking penalties as much as we do. You look back to Game 1, that one goal that they scored on the penalty shot. Jacob Trouba didn't really need to take that penalty. So hopefully this deep into the series, we'll start to see some regular style of gameplay coming. The Rangers are getting more used to the Devils and the way that they play. So hopefully it'll be better. But I do agree that there does need to be a new sense of discipline on the team. Connor asks final score predictions. Like I said, I think the Rangers are going to come out on top tonight. I don't know if it's going to be as dominant of a win as we saw in the first two games. So maybe like a 3-2, 4-3. I think it'll definitely be a closer 1 or 2 goal game, but I do see the Rangers ending up on top, knock on wood before I jinx anything, and you all get mad at me after that. But yeah, I do have faith in the home team. Obviously, we know that throughout the regular season, the Rangers were better on the road compared to home, but we're gonna have to win some home games this playoffs if we really want to make it far. So I think tonight's the night where we really show that. But I don't know. Going into it, a couple problems that we have seen throughout the playoffs so far is we're kind of relying a little bit on Chris Kreider too much. Him and Patrick Kane have really been carrying the offense. I know the fourth line finds 0 points. Lafreniere doesn't have any points. So if we do want to get that win tonight and take that commanding 3-1 series lead, we are going to have to see some more contributions outside of Kreider and, Kane. Tarasenko's been good too, obviously, but you need to see a little bit more improvement. But, welcome everyone that's joined since. Just doing a little pregame live stream for Game 4 tonight. If anyone has any questions or thoughts you want to hear about, just let me know. One thing I will say, though, while more people start to filter in, is the goaltending. Going back right when we found out that we were going to play against the Devils, we made a video discussing keys to winning, and I always thought it was going to be Igor versus Vanacek, and I had a lot of faith in Vanacek. Well, not faith really, but I was aware of how good he is, and first 2 games didn't play that well. Devils started a different goalie in Game 3, and he came out and got his first playoff win in his first playoff game. So could only assume we're seeing him again tonight, and I think that's going to be a big key to winning tonight, is finding a way to break through this new goalie. Chris asks, why do you think we've had so much trouble at home? Maybe they are too comfortable sleeping in their own bed. That's a good point. And I don't really know why we've had so much trouble, because usually in hockey, it's the opposite, especially in playoffs where the home atmosphere is so much different when you have this electric feeling playing there. But it's not really that the Rangers have been bad at home. We still had a really good record. We finished 6th in the league, I think it was, at the end of the regular season. But I don't know. Something's happening. And maybe you're right. They could be just too comfortable, especially going into Game 3 with the 2-0 series lead. They might have just felt too comfortable with that. And, Henrik Lundqvist even had a quote where he said the Rangers weren't really playing to win. They were just playing to not lose. And I think that speaks volumes on the mindset of the team right now. So hopefully Game 3 was just a wake-up call, and we'll see them try just as hard as they do on the road tonight at home. Um, yeah, Edwin says Rangers need more shots on goal, don't you think? 100% agree. That's been a problem throughout like the entire season so far, where players, especially Panarin, have had the chance to like rip a shot wide open net, and they elect to go for a pass instead. Try to be fancy and pretty and make a highlight reel goal. So I definitely agree that if we are going to start scoring goals and really just like hammer down on New Jersey, definitely more shots on goal. I will agree with that. But yeah, how are you guys feeling? Let's get some score predictions in the chat as well. I know I gave my thoughts. I want to hear what you all have to think. And I guess just another thing to touch upon, the defense. Defense has been really good so far this series. Obviously, in 3 games, we've only allowed like 4 goals. So Igor's playing great. Fox is playing great. He has 6 assists, I think. I don't even remember if he got an assist in game 3 or not, if anyone wants to quote me on that. If the power play came through, we would have won. I definitely agree. The power play throughout the first 2 games was pretty incredible, but in game 3, it just kind of fell off a little bit. But there's really not much we can do about that. You can only ask for so much out of your power play. It's not going to work every time. So hopefully they'll get back into shape tonight. My mother says, I love him, but Panarin needs to score. In game 3, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Unfortunately, I do have to agree with that. As you guys know, loyal fans of this channel, Panarin is my favorite player, but he's not perfect. He does have a lot of things that he needs to work on, and one of them is shooting the puck more and scoring more. He can get as many assists as he likes, but he needs to start scoring goals. My co-host Anthony in the chat smashed the like button for my goat Eric. Thank you, Tony. I hope Fireside Giants is doing well over there. Ken says 4-1 Rangers. That would be nice. Continue this trend of only allowing 1 goal despite game 3, that overtime goal. But who knows, only allowing 1 goal tonight. I could definitely see it happening the way that the defense and Igor has been playing. It's really just going to come down to if the penalty kill can keep working its magic, because, as we talked about a couple minutes ago, the lack of discipline on the team is a little bit concerning right now. Trouba needs to also stop missing the net. I can agree with that, but I don't know. Jacob Trouba, he's never been the most offensive defenseman we've had. That's usually more of like the Keandre Miller, Adam Fox aspect. So as long as Jacob Trouba is playing good defense, I can't complain. But it would be nice for him to start putting up some points there as well. We had the first 5 shots in overtime, could be 3-0. I mean, I agree. It's one of those things in overtime where like it gets so crazy, anything can happen. And I think like my entire life watching the Rangers, the only like overtime where I was fully confident that we were going to win was, I think it was game 5 or 6 against Montreal back in like 2017, the second round, when we had like completely dominant overtime. And it wasn't even a matter of if we're going to win. It was just how long is it going to take for Carey Price to let one in. So I don't know, like last night or 2 nights ago, we looked really good in that overtime. It honestly could have gone either way. Unfortunately, it went to New Jersey, but we'll see what happens tonight, I'm agreed with Trouba. Same with the Breadman. Thank you, Kent. Will we have Halak in net tonight? That guy stresses me out when he's in net. No, I don't think so. For pretty much every team, you rock with your starting goaltender. I'm honestly surprised that Vanacek isn't playing throughout the entirety of the series after only 2 games. So for the Rangers, especially with Igor, I see him playing every single playoff game throughout the entire playoffs. The only way we're really going to see a Halak start would be if Igor gets injured, again, knock on wood, because if that happens, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But let's say like theoretically that does happen. I honestly wouldn't even be too scared with Halak in net. Like, yeah, he stresses us out a little bit, but you look back to how he started at the beginning of the season to how he's been playing now. Halak is a completely different goaltender, and I might be biased, but I do fully believe that the Rangers have one of the best goalie tandems in the league. So hopefully Igor stays healthy. We're definitely going to be seeing him throughout the entirety of the playoffs, but knock on wood, anything happens, I'd still feel pretty confident with Halak. Maybe not against a team like Boston, though, if we ever come across them. What's up, Matt? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, back what I was saying before, regarding the defense, sure, yeah, Jacob Trouba hasn't really contributed offensively. I know he had that breakaway. I don't remember if it was game 2 or game 3, but he shot it right at the goalie. That's kind of what we expect from Jacob Trouba at this point. That's like the offense contributions from the defense really just comes from Adam Fox, Keandre Miller. Ryan Lindgren has a goal in this series. That was kind of surprising to me, honestly, but it's good to see everyone contributing. Hopefully Mika and Panarin just have to show up tonight. I fully agree. After 3 games in the series, both of them do have 2 points. So it's honestly like not even bad play from them that we should really be complaining about. Lafreniere doesn't have a single point, but most of those points came in the first 2 games where Vanacek looked like Swiss cheese right there. So who really knows in a competitive game like we saw in game 3, where really not too much offensive contribution outside of Chris Kreider. But hopefully tonight that offense does come back, because if we're going to win, we're going to need to start scoring goals. It's been a relatively low-scoring series for the Devils thus far, and I have faith that Igor and the defense will keep it up. But there is going to be at some point in this series where they're going to put up like 4 or 5 goals, and we're going to have to try to counteract that. Doesn't Kakko have more points than Hughes? He might, honestly. I'm not quite sure exactly how many points Jack Hughes has right now, but I can pull that up real quick. He might only have 1 or 2 because he scored that 1 goal in game 1. Let's see, Jack Hughes has 2 goals for 2 points at a -2. And if you just give me 10 seconds right here, Cabo Kakko also has 2 points, a goal and an assist. So they're at the same right there. Obviously, the rivalry between Hughes and Kakko is there, but they're both playing at a similar level. We tried to be too cute last game. Enough of that nonsense. I fully agree. Like we mentioned earlier, when we have the puck in the offensive zone, best thing to do is just put it on net. You don't need to make a fancy pass. You don't need to dangle every single player you come across. Stick to simple hockey, get pucks on net. Kreider has proven so far this series to be one of the best deflectors in the entire league. So if he's there, wouldn't hurt to just put it on net. And, you got big guys out front who are really good at controlling the puck like Capo Kakko. If he's around the net, that he's pretty much going to hold on to it for as long as he needs to. We've seen a lot of that throughout the series, which to touch upon that, Capo Kakko has looked really good so far. Like we said, he has 2 points in 2 games, same as Jack Hughes. And when, like I kind of just mentioned, when he has the puck, he really shows how strong he is, where there's times where there's like 2, 3 Devils players trying to knock it off of him, and he's just skating around the net for a couple seconds. And for the rest of the kid line, Philip Hedl has also looked really good. I know he has a couple points. Lafreniere has really just been the only disappointing one points-wise, but he hasn't hurt the team, so I can't complain too much. It'd be nice to see him contribute offensively, but we'll see. Devils fans think their goalie is going to be their savior, not tested yet. I mean, I agree. He looked really good in game 3. I can't deny that, so not to take any credit away from him, but the Rangers did lack a little bit offensively, so we'll see how he stands tonight if the Rangers do play more simple hockey, get more pucks on net, and really see what's going to happen. Being a big Brett fan, does it also surprise you when you see him get into the scrums? A part of me, yeah, it does surprise me, because Panarin's never really been that type of player where he's getting physical, hitting people, getting scrappy like that. But at the end of the day, it is playoff hockey, and everyone kind of needs to do that if your team's going to make it far. So does it surprise me that he's doing it? Not really. I'm just happy to see it. It's funny to see for me, because you rarely ever see that out of him. So it's expected, but it's funny. Hopefully the Garden is buzzing tonight. If we can win this game, we put ourselves in a good spot. I mean, I fully agree. I think this is one of the most pivotal games, if not the most pivotal game throughout this entire season so far, where if we beat the Devils, we take a very commanding 3-1 series lead. And I knock on wood again, but that should pretty much hopefully close it out right there, unless the Devils make a pretty crazy comeback. But then if we lose, it's a tie series, anything can happen. And we're pretty much back to square one right there with the best of 3 series. They'll find a way around the new goalie. Devils fans also think Hughes is their savior. They don't get it. The whole team has to contribute. I fully agree. We will find a way around this goalie. And Jack Hughes, 2 points in 3 games with 2 goals. It's pretty impressive, but he's really been the only offensive contribution for the Devils so far. Obviously, other players have points, but I mean star power, meaningful points right now. The whole team does have to contribute. That's what the Rangers kind of lacked last season, and what made us fall short, where at times the top 6 would play really good and the kid line would disappear, and then the kid line would be playing good and the top 6 would disappear. So it's a full team effort right here. Hockey is a team sport. Remember when Panarin got into a big scrap when he was in Chicago? I remember Panarin's rookie season. Didn't watch him too much because I was very anti-Chicago, but who knows? We got him and Kane back, so it's crazy to see. boys just have to play like they're on the road. Pretty much exactly. We were just talking about earlier how maybe possibly one of the reasons why the Rangers play better on the road is that they get too comfortable at home and there's a more sense of urgency on the road. And I fully agree with that. Going into tonight, we still have a series lead. The Rangers can't get too comfortable. We saw in Game 3 that the Devils can and will find ways to win. So we're really going to have to try our hardest right here. Timo Meier tried to injure Igor last game. Can't let that happen. I fully agree. Don't touch my goalie. I know when I play hockey, if anyone gets close to my goalie, I will step in and remove him from that situation. So, yeah, pretty dirty play by Timo Meier. I think especially this deep into the series, things are going to get increasingly more and more physical and scrappy. So, I don't know, to start off Game 4, if Jacob Trouba wants to just drop the gloves with Timo Meier, I wouldn't complain. I would love to see Trouba hit him, especially if he comes close to Igor, which is, we need Igor. I like Halak. I have faith in Halak, but there's just something about playoff Igor that it's a little special, and I don't see the Rangers making it very far without him. Thank you for the pre-gamer. Much appreciated. Aloha. Well, Kent, thank you for stopping in. Obviously, Rangers fans, we all need to come together every once in a while and talk about the team, really just see how we're feeling. But we got some more viewers in the chat. How are you guys feeling going into Game 4 right now? And just drop some score predictions below. Trouba train has to leave the station. I fully agree. Nothing better than watching Jacob Trouba just kind of step up and lay someone out and then go on social media and see everyone complain that it was a dirty hit, even though it wasn't. They just hate Trouba because he's on the Rangers and not on their team. Somebody hit Hughes. I mean, I agree. I think Jack Hughes, he's kind of like a similar player to Panarin where he acts a little too pretty. He makes some fancy moves. Obviously, don't target the kid. You don't want to accidentally injure him by targeting him, but it would be a good way to set the tone on him right there, hit him pretty hard and just have him realize that this is playoff hockey. I love Braden Schneider. Kid has grit and heart. I mean, I agree. Schneider has been one of the more interesting players so far this season where he's gone through like 3 or 4 different partners, kind of a little unfair to him. But, right now he's playing with Mikkola, who's also stepped up and looks really good. So I like him and Mikkola together. And they've been one of like the more underrated duos so far this series. When Trouba dropped Crosby, that made him my hero. I agree. I've always loved Trouba. I've had my complaints about him. You guys know that if you've been around this channel for a while. But when Trouba gets physical, it's something magical. So I'm so glad Trouba's our captain. I was against it at first, but I'm all in now. I mean, I fully agree. I remember when the rumors were going around, I was a very, very big advocate that the captain should either be Zibanejad or Chris Kreider. I was a little disappointed when Trouba was first named the captain. He hasn't been on the team as long as some other guys. And, our last captain was a defenseman in Ryan McDonough. So I thought it'd be like fun to see like an offensive captain who can score a lot of goals and just really amp that up. But I will admit I was wrong about Jacob Trouba. He's a leader. He's a great physical player, and he's been really, really well as captain. So I will admit that I was wrong there. I cannot complain. But yeah, I mean, in a couple of minutes, we'll start to wrap it up. Just, do you guys have any final thoughts, things you want to hear and discuss as we move closer to game time? But I like how Devils fans react to Hughes' hits like he hits like Trouba. Jack can't hit that hard. I mean, I agree. Jack Hughes, obviously, is a very skilled, very talented player, but he's kind of small. He focuses more on like the goal scoring aspect of the game, where he's really just focusing on getting points. He's not really a very big physical player, so he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I do agree. Devils fans, they do act like that. Vintage Kane the other night made my heart warm. So amazing to see. I agree. Playoff Kane, obviously we know that he can work some magic too. He's won a Conn Smythe. He's won 3 Stanley Cups. He knows how to win playoff games, and we've seen that with him. We've seen that with Tarasenko. That level of experience that they bring to the table it's really something special. Logan asked Schmidt or Vanacek tonight. I honestly don't know. I don't believe that I got it right here. Yeah, it's Schmidt again. Vanacek will be acting as a backup. So that's interesting to see that the Devils just pretty much gave up on Vanacek that quickly after 2 games. Obviously, wasn't very pretty having back-to-back 5-1 losses, but I don't know. I feel like if Igor were to do that, the Rangers would still have faith in your goalie and stick with him and hope that he could work something out. But it looks like Schmidt's back in net for Game 4. He beat us last game in overtime, so Now it's up to the Rangers to try to find a way to get past him like we did with Vanacek. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very different series. And yes, Logan, I agree. We must make him work more shots on net and really just show them that we can win at home and have a very, very dominant win tonight. But just keep shooting at the net and be relentless. I agree, Matt. We'll end it off with that. I think that's really just the game plan going into tonight. Do the Rangers need to adjust their play for game 4? Yeah, get more pucks on net. All right. And that's pretty much the only way that we're going to be able to win. So thank you all for those who tuned in. It's been great talking to you. I know I did this solo tonight, but for games 5 and 6, the ones that are guaranteed, game 5 is guaranteed. Game 6, we'll see what happens if we take another loss, but I doubt that'll happen. My prediction, Rangers will close off the series in 5. But I know for game 5, me and Anthony do plan on doing another live stream, pretty much the same thing we did here about half an hour before the game starts. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure if you enjoyed to like and subscribe, click that bell, make sure you don't miss another video so you get notified. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Let's go to Rangers tonight. And yeah, let's get a win. All right. Enjoy the game. Peace out, everyone.